Hey everybody, yet again, it is I, Waifu Belector, the only fair human on Earth, and earlier today we got a new Pokemon Direct, filled with a bunch of stuff that most of us really don't care about, and then finally, of course, the thing we were all waiting for, information on Pokemon Legends ZA. So that's what I'm gonna talk about, obviously, that's what I'm here to do. I'm not gonna waste time talking about any of the rest of it. Just gonna provide some thoughts, observations, and speculation on and about what we saw of ZA. So let's get into it. Remember to do the YouTube stuff, the liking and subscribing and whatnot if you end up enjoying. But for now, let's talk Pokemon. And I just want to get right into the juiciest bit. That's really what I want to do. Pokemon Legends ZA has real-time battling. Finally! It finally happened in Pokemon. Oh my god, it finally happened. And it looks cool, it looks exciting. It doesn't look entirely unique. It seems similar to a number of action RPGs, but they are just that, similarities, because of what Pokemon is and how Pokemon works. Like take something like Hogwarts Legacy, just for a random comparison. In that game, you're equipping spells, and when you use one, it goes on cooldown, like here in ZA. And when your spells are on cooldown, you're just basic attacking, dodging, and or blocking. Well, in Pokemon, obviously you play as the trainer, so you won't really be dodging and blocking as your Pokemon. There's no indication that you can directly control your Pokemon, and I doubt that's a feature. So things just have to operate a little differently because the Pokemon franchise is unique amongst other games, as pretty much still the only relevant creature collector. And obviously cooldowns are already a shift, but an obvious and appropriate one since we're going from turn-based to real-time. Now, I briefly mentioned dodging, and I'm interested to see how this operates exactly. Because in this trailer, it's made clear that you direct your Pokemon in a way, you know? You tell them where to go and stand essentially to help them dodge incoming attacks. And in the trailer, it appears to be done simply by the trainer moving and the Pokemon kinda naturally follows. But I would assume there's some sort of call button, and your battling Pokemon will actually only come toward your location when you whistle at it or something. I don't know. Similarly, I was wondering if you'll be able to direct your Pokemon to stand somewhere or move somewhere without leading it there yourself, by like pinging a spot or something. With the footage we have, it doesn't seem clear if you can. There's a moment with Onix where the trainer places an indicator on the floor for Onix to position itself before it unleashes an attack, but it's hard to tell if this was done as part of activating the attack or if it was just a fluid motion of go here and then I quickly input the attack, you know? To simplify, my question is, did the trainer say, Onix, move here, do Rock Slide, or Onix, do Rock Slide here? Because mechanically, those aren't the same thing. Both can be possible, both can be in the game alongside each other, but we don't know yet. Hopefully you can simply stand and point to make your Pokemon move and dodge if you want. I think that'd be very useful, but we'll see. Also, in Legends Arceus, the trainer themselves would be attacked by wild Pokemon and have to dodge them and stuff. Obviously, the entire battling system is different here, and that wouldn't be the case for trainer battles, but it would be pretty cool if wild Pokemon still attack the trainer even during the real-time battles. And if either all of your party of Pokemon or yourself are knocked out, you know, you get sent back to the Pokemon Center. And actually, in one of the sorta two separate trailers we had here, you can see the trainer do a dodge roll away from some Pyroar fire. So chances are looking pretty good that wild Pokemon can still attack you directly, but still, it's unclear right now. Now, another cool thing about finally having real-time battling is that some moves, and especially defensive ones, are really gonna get to shine and be used the way we always imagined or watched in the anime. And we can already see some examples, like when Lucario uses Protect, or one I especially like, when Hippowdon uses Stealth Rock. It places all the spiky rock shards in front of itself, and Talonflame crashes into them while trying to attack. This is probably gonna be a great attack for trying to retreat briefly, or maybe even crowd control if there turns out to be mob style battles in the game, just saying. I also like how you can see shortly after the Stealth Rocks form, they start to shimmer in and out of camouflage, staying true to their name, you know? It's just so fun and cool to see these moves reimagined in a real-time 3D environment that'll allow you to really live out the long-time Pokemon training fantasy. Like, will Reflect actually reflect things? It has to, right? Will certain moves be interruptible? I think that's an interesting question. Will moves have startups? They already told us that moves have different lengths of reach and areas of effect, so you can potentially be so far from an opponent that an attack whiffs. Things don't just automatically track. But are there interruptible startups to some moves? Would something like Sword Dance be immediate, or would my Pokemon have an animation that could be interrupted if the Pokemon was hit during it? But then again, this could be where flinching comes in. Moves like Fake Out and even Bite. Flinching could be introduced as an interrupting mechanic. And if it were, that could mean flinching could be added to far more attacks, because maybe interrupting would be a big strategic part of a real-time RPG like this. I'm just thinking out loud here. There's a lot of cool shit that can come from this. Something else I wondered about this though is what your Pokemon do if you aren't pressing anything in a battle. Will they literally just stand there and stare, or is there some sort of battling logic? Not necessarily using their named attacks automatically, although that can be achieved through like a Final Fantasy Gambit system if they want. But no, what I'm more so talking about is if the battling Pokemon will hit each other with kind of low damage basic nondescript attacks automatically, so that there always feels like there's action. But any command you give would obviously then take priority, sort of like how companions play in things like Mass Effect or Dragon Age. Also, that nondescript generic attack could be a good way to implement struggle into the game, you know? But as far as I can tell, the Pokemon appear to just do nothing if you don't tell them to do something. And you know what, now that I think about it, because everything is cooldown based, if you just have 4 attacks, can you spam all 4 immediately, just like, you know, completely nuke an opponent right off the bat? Or is there some sort of spacing that has to be in between each command, you know? I mean, of course, if you just nuke the opponent with all of your abilities, that would put all of your attacks on cooldowns, so you might be fucked if they don't die, but yeah, I wonder exactly what the rules are. But yeah, this change is such a huge one. It's what a lot of us have wanted from Pokemon for so long, and with this change, we're that much closer to the dream of a big Pokemon MMO. We're seeing the beginnings of what that could look like. Other than that though, I thought the game looked decent, like literally looked. I mean, its Pokemon graphics aren't their strong suit. It does look cleaner and more detailed than Scarlet and Violet, but nothing to write home about. And still no sign of voice acting, unfortunately. But, there are also no speech boxes present in this look at the game. So voice acting not deconfirmed either, technically. I'll take the copium. But yeah, anyway, I do hope the open world is pretty full this time around. Legends Arceus was pretty empty, a little bit barren. I hope this game feels like the bustling city it's actually set in, with plenty to do and see, you know? And lastly, we learned that ZA is releasing late 2025, which presumably means it will not be a launch title for the Switch 2, because that console is likely launching in June or July. But I'd already theorized in previous videos that I thought ZA wouldn't launch with the Switch 2, but it would come out a couple of months after release, and here it is. Can't give myself too much credit though, it was just pretty obvious with the available information. And although this game is likely coming out on both Switch and Switch 2, it seems like it might be more of a Switch 1 game, but obviously that would still run on Switch 2. But if it is still kinda a Switch game, that makes me think that the Gen 10 Pokemon games, whenever they might come out, those will be the big ones. Possibly where graphics are significantly better, and even maybe with voice acting. However, that's all ifs and buts. And if ifs and buts were berries and nuts, we'd all be eating Poke Puffs. Alright, I'm done. I'm excited for the game. So happy and excited about the real-time combat change. Of course, it's the Kalos region, which introduced my favorite Pokemon of all time, my sweet baby Sylveon. So that'll no doubt be my loyal partner Pokemon my whole playthrough, as soon as I can get one, that is. Drop your thoughts on ZA down in the comments. Maybe you share my excitement, maybe you have your own theories on things. Let me know, and of course remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and even subscribe if you want to go a step further. I greatly appreciate it. But regardless of what you do, thanks for watching, and until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I can't wait for Pokemon Legends ZA. Goodbye.